Okay, so I've set up some leaves on a board like this. I found them in various different places, and they're also in various different conditions. What's I think is interesting, even when you get something that's sort of all crinkled up like this, it makes very interesting painting. So, yeah, this is Virginia Creeper, which I found in the alleyway across the road, and I think that's a bit of plane. There are lots of plane trees around. So I did a little bit of freehand painting. So that one there represents that leaf there. I didn't draw with my pencil first. I went straight in with my brush.
Oh.
And I think it would be quite good practice if everybody could do that this afternoon, unless you have already drawn your leaves up, in which case work with what you've done. I'm trying to free up my own approach, but bear in mind, I do, my drawing is reasonably strong. If you don't feel your drawing is sufficiently strong, then by all means draw first and then paint. But what tends to happen is you end up filling in rather than actually exploiting the marks that the brush can make. And I'm going to show you those when we start painting in this, this session. So you know what I mean when I say size measuring. You take your paintbrush or your pencil and you hold it, close one eye, line it up sort of horizontally in front of the leaf, line up one edge with one side of it, and then run your finger to the other side. Then compare that by turning your brush through 90 degrees to its height. Okay? That's what we call size measuring. What happens is if a leaf is on its side, i.e. if this leaf, I pull it out and I turn it on its side and it appears to be standing up on the table, I'm going to see far less from this edge to this edge than if it was lying down.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but how does the pencil do it?
Well, you've got to start by drawing your bottom edge, then decide how far this top edge is from the bottom edge by size measuring into its length. Right?
Okay.
So you can take a measurement from there to there with your paintbrush. You can do it, by holding it out. Then compare that to how many times that measurement will go into the overall length of the leaf. Okay, so in a sense, I could just quickly show you on the edge of my paper here. If I was going to draw this leaf, I've got a sort of a wriggly back, this front edge here, then that leaf curls round. I'm going to see this edge fairly close to it, or closer to it than it would be normally. This is the edge, right? This front edge, and this is the back edge of my leaf. And then it comes round and into a stem. So I've got another leaf there coming round, so like that. So in other words, this is the front edge curling over. Can you see that? Sorry. It's not,
yes.
Yeah? So it appears like a long, narrow shape rather than in a sort of open shape like I've got here.
Yeah.
So you've just got to be very strict with yourself and not change things when you're looking at them, and then you go and draw them on your piece of paper or with your brush. You've got to be very strict and try and keep, if you want to do a correct representation of what's in front of you, you've got to just take what you see in front of you, and even if it's unbelievable, put that down and then have a look at it.
Yes.
And I've painted it curled over because I think it makes a much more interesting shape.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's not very interesting when it's just flat and fresh, particularly. I think when they're dying, they're more interesting. This is the way that little end is curled over is also giving me a nice little triangle, which I haven't yet. It's obviously happened earlier on. I didn't put it in. So what I'm saying is really check the negative spaces as you're moving round the leaf and describing it with your brush. I'd like us to avoid too much sponging out and changing things, if we can just look carefully as we're painting. And use the whole head of the brush so things don't dry out too quickly. I mean, this could dry out very quickly, and I don't want that happening. I know you're seeing it back to front, this leaf, but the one I'm doing is that one there on the right, the big plane tree leaf. And all I've done so far is put the first wash, which was a warm yellow, and then dampened it and then put the green over the top. And now I'm going to work the third colour, which is sort of like a russety red in places on the leaf itself. And remember to use two brushes if need be to soften edges of things. Don't feel you've just got to stick with one brush all the time. I don't know if you're noticing, but I'm using three brushes here. I've got three brushes in my hand. One's got the main colour in, one's got water on it, and the little one is just for the odd shape that needs to be very fine. Okay.